On Your Side tonight with Jamie Bull starts now.
It's one of the strongest drugs on our streets.
Fentanyl is killing more than 70,000 Americans a year.
Just blowing some of it on your hand could be deadly.
Will simply touching fentanyl actually cause an overdose? We're getting you the facts.
A break in a 15-year-old missing persons cold case.
They found a car down in the water.
A car belonging to a missing person was found at the bottom of Lake Norman. We spoke directly to investigators who told us who tipped them off about the car. That story coming up.
Snow in Charlotte? It's possible in the next few days. Our team of meteorologists is walking us through the likelihood. Also tonight, she was a legal trailblazer here in Charlotte. Former Judge Shirley Fulton just lost her battle with cancer. In her honor, we're remembering her decades-long impact on our community. It may help unlock the unknowns of the next pandemic. We're going to take you inside a new research center at UNC Charlotte. And have you done your taxes yet? If not, you may just want to hold off. We'll have the reasons why just ahead. Good evening and welcome to On Your Side tonight. I'm Jamie Bull. Great to have you with us. A lot of things happening that you need to know about. And I'm joined by Siobhan Bryan. She's going to get you caught up on the other big stories of the day that you may have missed. Meteorologist Rachel Coulter in the First Alert Weather Center. Feeling a lot like spring right now, but yeah, snow possibly come the weekend. The details on that coming up in just a moment. But first tonight, we have new developments in a string of Kias and Hyundais stolen in Northeast Charlotte. For months, we have been telling you about the social media trend showing people who easily steal those types of cars with a USB cord. Well, new tonight, we know a teenager is suspected to be behind these crimes. Wbtv's Cam Gaskins joins us live tonight with more on this. And Cam, it sounds like there is a key piece of evidence that links the teen to these thefts.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jamie, and not the kind of evidence you might ordinarily think of. I'm here right now on North Tryon Street outside of a Bojangles. This is where police say a 17-year-old stopped for dinner after stealing a vehicle, and he left behind a receipt in that vehicle that they're hoping will connect him to that theft. Now, according to that warrant that we got from CMPD today, we know that a 17-year-old juvenile is a person of interest in these stolen Hyundai and Kia vehicles, and that suspect lives in this neighborhood you see here, 3.5 miles from this Bojangles, where 7 stolen cars were recovered within a half mile of each other last fall. Now, that Bojangles receipt with the suspect's name on it ties him to one of those vehicles on the day it was stolen. There's also video footage of that suspect driving the car to that Bojangles and from that Bojangles on North Tryon Street. And then another key piece of evidence, one of the cars shows the suspect's iPhone was connected to it at one point. So the search warrant is going to be looking into the suspect's phone, hoping to access it and see if it is connected to any of the other recovered vehicles in the neighborhood. Now, because this suspect is under 18 years old, we are not reporting his identity, but according to the search warrant, he was also previously arrested for another stolen vehicle charge last fall as well. So CMPD are hoping that the search warrant will recover more information that will tie him to the 7 vehicles that were found in that one neighborhood here in Northeast Charlotte. Reporting live, I'm Cam Gaskins, WBTV News on Your Side.
Fascinating trail of evidence. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock. Cam, thanks for that update. Appreciate it. Let's get back to the weather forecast that we are tracking for you tonight. Let's take a live look from Charlotte all the way down to Boone. Roads clear tonight, no problems. But look at the bottom of your screen there. That is sort of the models running of what we are expecting, right? You see lots of green, lots of green. If we run this through a little bit longer, you'll start to notice, right, the whites and the purples and that pink, and it gets awfully close to the Charlotte area. What's going on here? Meteorologist Rachel Coulter has the latest predictions. Rachel, that's for like Sunday, right? A few days off, so I know this is going to have to be fine-tuned.
Exactly. You know, it's Wednesday we're talking about. It's really, like you mentioned, Jamie, that Saturday into Sunday time frame where we have the potential for some wintry weather. The best chance of that at this point going to be for the mountains. Until then, Friday, Saturday, this is mainly just going to be a cold rain at times. Not Friday. It'll still feel like spring at that point. But we have so many changes ahead of us. And I'm showing you satellite and radar. Now, I've zoomed us out just a little bit. And you'll notice that most of the rain, even severe weather at this point, continues out to our west in association with the cold front that's slowly and surely going to make its way towards our area. I will point out we've seen a few sprinkles out there in some of our western counties. That's certainly a possibility. Picking that up with our WBTV radar scanning just in northwestern portions of Burke County. Ultimately, though, rain chances very, very limited even through Thursday. It's not until Friday where rain chances really start to pick back up. We ended up topping out in the low 70s this afternoon. Now, if you're heading out for any plans tonight, 7, 8 o'clock, temperatures in the 50s and 60s in most locations. We have one more day where high temperatures could reach the 70s before we start to see those changes heading into the weekend. So I'll break down the latest here in a few minutes, Jamie.
Yeah, a lot more to talk about. All right, Rachel, we'll see you in a few minutes. Now to 7 at 7. Our Siobhan Bryan joins us with the 7 biggest stories of the day to get you caught up. And Siobhan, a break tonight in a cold case.
It's a wild story, Jamie. That's exactly where we'll begin. A car was found at the bottom of Lake Norman, and deputies say it belongs to a woman who's been missing for 15 years. WBTV's Ron Lee tells us how deputies were alerted about the car.
Amazingly, it was a local fisherman that actually made the find. Catawba County Sheriff's deputies out here tell me that he was using sonar to scour the bottom of the lake, and that's when he came across a car sunken underneath the water. The fisherman contacted the sheriff's office, who sent out their dive team to confirm the find. This morning, officials shut down the road as the recovery process went underway. Deputies tell me the vehicle pulled from the water belongs to Tina Martin, a person who's been missing for 15 years. I'm told skeletal remains were found inside of the car. However, they're not saying if the remains belong to Martin until the DNA analysis is complete. As far as to why this happened, well, that's really speculation at this point. But the lack of safety rails at the time could have been a factor.
Some of these guardrails were not fully in place back during the time of the initial disappearance.
Well, detectives don't know exactly how long it'll take the DNA analysis and the investigation to wrap up. They are hoping for a speedy resolution in this case to give the family a sense of closure. In Catawba County, I'm Ron Lee, WBTV. On your side.
Ron, thank you. Down to South Carolina now, where the most surprising moment in the Alec Murdaugh double murder trial didn't come from testimony, but from a bomb threat. The courtroom had to be evacuated today. Everyone did return nearly 3 hours later. Now, when testimony continued, Murdaugh's former paralegal took the stand. You see her there. She described him as the Tasmanian devil and said his work habits were erratic. During cross-examination, the defense sought to paint Murdaugh as a family man and a good person to work for. Meanwhile, a Charlotte-Mecklenburg school employee just arrested after police say he inappropriately touched a student. CMPD confirms in the last hour a young girl at Wilson STEM Academy told investigators that David Lucas had touched her. CMPD says Lucas works as a family engagement advocate for CMS. Police arrested Lucas today. He's charged with indecent liberties with a child, indecent liberties with a student by a school administrator, and first-degree kidnapping. We got this statement from the school district about the charges. The district told us, quote, the employee in question has been suspended with pay pending investigation. It's our understanding that CMPD Crimes Against Children Unit is conducting a separate investigation, end quote. An update now on a story we first brought to you as breaking news yesterday involving a school bus crash in Rowan County. The Rowan County Sheriff's Office says the bus driver reportedly had a seizure, drove off the road, hitting a mailbox and some trees. We've also learned 2 students got in a fight before that crash. Those students were removed before the medical incident. The Rowan-Salisbury School District says 7 students and the bus driver were taken to the hospital. So check your cabinets. There's a recall for nearly 5 million bottles of Fabuloso multi-purpose cleaner. The products may contain Pseudomonas species bacteria. For people with weakened immune systems, exposure could cause serious infection. And now take a look at this and write them down. These are the 8-digit codes for the recalled products. We also have this list on our website for you to check. Union County Public Schools are looking to hire more teachers. They're partnering with Wingate University and South Piedmont Community College to hire new teachers after graduation. The program is called Teach UCPS. The goal here is to give students a roadmap to help new graduates get their teaching licenses without going into debt. The program is expected to expand to several other Union County schools next year. Jamie, that's 7 of the biggest stories happening now at 7.
Teacher shortages across the Carolinas.
Everywhere.
Keep hearing about people trying to be creative to fill those needs.
And that's definitely an interesting way to do it, especially considering avoiding debt for those graduates.
Absolutely. That's a big deal, isn't it? Siobhan, thank you. Coming up next here on Your Side Tonight. Can breathing in small particles of fentanyl really kill you? What about touching it? We're on your side with a dose of reality about the drug. It's tonight's cover story.